Hello, hello, hello. This is what you see. This is what you see. This is what you see. This is because the next liquidity is sitting here, so planning for a long entry. Because the next liquidity is sitting here, so planning for a long entry. Because the next liquidity is sitting here, so yeah, the reason behind this setup is purely the liquidity is sitting above. Yeah, the reason behind this setup is purely the liquidity is sitting above. Yeah, so the strategy is simple. It's following the liquidity. We identify where is the higher liquidity, then we follow the bias where the market wants to go. So we do a higher time frame analysis and identify who is getting trapped. So here, the psychology plays a role here because now everybody think like this is going to be bearish because it was a whole bearish movement, right? Like it was a continuous drop. Then there was a pullback. Then based on the overall market structure, everyone will go for a short entry, but the market wants to go higher because the liquidity is sitting here and the market makers want to move the price up to here. So I use a different analysis to identify what is that key areas and think from this kind of a perspective where everybody set stop losses here, right? So now the market is going to take everyone's stop losses. That's where the reverse psychology plays a role. And now everybody thinks of shorting it. That's time we will go for long. So that's a strategy. I can keep ask questions and I can show you some examples of how the market makers manipulate the market and make more people stuck inside the market and take their money. Yeah, we do a higher analysis in terms of how people think and where people feel like, okay, this is something which they wanted to focus more, right? Yeah. So this analysis like we do from a month to week to day to 4 hours and 1 hour, then we do an analysis of identifying where is that next liquidity is resting and where the big player wants to move the market. But not all the time we are going to be right, but at least we'll find out the possibilities to avoid the risk. That's where the risk management plays a crucial role. If you lose, you're gonna lose, let's say, $10 risk you do here. You're gonna lose 10. But this setup is actually giving you a 7 risk reward. So a $10 risk, you're going to make 70. So right now, as you can see here, this is right now it's 2.6. The next probably 3.7, but this is where the target. So it's somewhere around 6.97x. As you can see here, the market is pumping. So the question here is, do you really think that a retail trader is pushing this price? No, because the market makers identified an opportunity to collect the liquidity from here. So you see here, the ranging started from here to here. It's around 7 hours. So that's 7 hours of liquidity it's collecting in just like 1 hour and 9 minutes, right? So only smart money can do this, not a retail trader can push the price this much up and collect all this liquidity, right? So that's the power of liquidity, because we have to identify where are these resting orders, then automatically the market is supposed to go there. So what smart money normally do is they'll try to trap the sellers by forcing or showcasing or like creating a kind of like an impact that, see, like it's closing here, then again it's lower low, again lower low, then again lower low, then again lower low. So most of the retail traders think that the trend has reversed, because this pump is came from a long time back, and now the price is reversing since they see it's a downfall, right? But smart money take this as an opportunity to trap all the retail traders and people who think that the way that a common person thinks, and they always think, I wouldn't say an opposite, but in a different way, so that those people can make the money. But our job is to make sure that we won't get into the trap. We'll we'll be focused, and we do a proper risk and trade analysis before we jump into a trade. And this is so fast, and it's not even giving them an option to like to get out from the trade, right? Because if it's pulling back here, then it's going up, and it's going down, then it makes sense. But the movement is so fast, and this is a 3-minute movement. When you see a 1-minute movement, you can see that it's a huge pump. And like, see the 15 minutes candle, that's, see the way that it's pumping. So how I was able to predict this is because of the market knowledge and the psychology behind it, and identifying the footprint of these big players. How do they think? So because once you start thinking the way that they think, then you can easily capture these kind of traits. But we have to make sure that if we lose, we shouldn't be like, if we lose, and it should be proper risk, right? If you feel like, okay, this was supposed to get out from this trade here, then you should get out from that trade in that particular area. But we just wanted to know, like, where is the entry? Because I already entered it here. Because see, I already entered it here before I came into the live. But yeah, this was the trade plan. And now a proper risk reward is important. That's one of the reason why we have made, yeah, that's one of the reason why I built this uh, BiasLogic system where you have a proper um, risk reward option. So for an example, like now you know the entry here, you can just put the entry, then the target, then the stop loss. Then the system will tell you uh, approximately how much quantity you should take it based on your risk, and there's always should follow a risk reward pattern. Like based on your capital, shouldn't be taking more than 3% of the risk. But sometimes people have confusion, like how much risk I should um, put it in a trade, right? So let's say you have 1400 capital here, then based on that, the system will calculate you approximately how much would be your risk reward. So let's say for an example, you're taking 2% risk, then that's going to be, you need $17,566 in order to open this position. And based on that, you should be getting a quantity of 0.28 from the exchange. So if you risk $29, there will be a fees of $14, and you're going to get for 29, your risk reward is 6.97, that is 207. Now you know that if you win, you'll get $207, but after deducting the fees, your net profit is going to be $193. But if you lose, adding your fees, that's going to be $44. So you can ask yourself, is this trade is worth of taking it? Because sometimes your trade setup might not be looking good. Sometimes your fees is going to be more than your selected risk. Then the system will warn you based on, like, whether you're following something, then you can go and take that trade. Sometimes a system is something which is always make a person more profitable, not a setup or a strategy. So that's why I made the system to make sure that everybody follow a set of rules. And if you don't follow the rules, then the system can help you to uh, get as much as possible profit without vanishing your capital. There are a lot of features inside this tool which I built. It has a risk guard status, and you can set a set of risk percentage that you would like to risk for a trade. Then based on that, if you are taking a trade of more than what it's suggesting, then you're going to get a warning. Then if you choose anything lesser than that, then that means its trade setup is active and reasonable. And yep, I can explain a little bit more in the upcoming live sessions, like how this tool can help you to get proper risk management and uh, disciplined trading system. Now, as I mentioned, it's hit the take profit. So whoever ended this trade, if I log this trade with, let's say, $29, 1.5 risk, what it suggests, I made around $144. Now, you know that, no, I'll just use a split screen. Yeah, so If you could have followed this live along with the trade, then you could have made $144, right? And if you risk $44, then you made a net profit of $289. But that's against the rule. We never break the rule, we follow the rule. There's a reason why the system giving you a recommended risk, because if there was two consecutive losses happened, that's why it reducing from my standard risk into 1.5. And there's always an option to log this trade. So let's say for an example, since I log for 1.5, I log this trade, then this has got a journal system, then what all the details that it's entered from here, it automatically populated here. So BTC, it was a long entry was this, stop loss was this, take profit was this, and all the position risk amount, quantity, everything imported here. Now my role is just to provide what was this session. This was an I think it was an Asia session. The setup was, I call it as um, liquidity sweep. I can write anything so that next time it shows that I can write a note what I felt, or what was the reason behind I took this trade, and I click here. So it's confirming me the date is correct. Technically the date is not correct. Today is 24 here. So I'm just changing it to 24. Correct. Now the date is correct. I'm going to save it. So now the trade is locked, and as you can see here, if you come here, I took one trade today. I had two consecutive losses before. Now I'm protecting, the system is protecting my money, and I'm coming back to the journal. The outcome was when. Now, was that a full TP hit? Of course, it was a full TP hit, and the price is still pumping up. But yeah, we are not being greedy, because there was a set of rule that we follow and identify that the market is going to reverse from there. So we only grab that much of profit, which is 7x is still reasonable take profit. So there was a full TP hit, and yeah, I followed my rule. Then what was my mindset? It was not FOMO. This was not a revenge trade, because I had a two consecutive losses. That's why reduce system told me to reduce it to 1.5x from 3 percentage. Sorry, not 3 percentage, 1.5. So I followed that rule. Um, Technically, it should be a revenge trade, but I was calm and quiet, so it was not a revenge trade. Uh, I didn't have any fear. Of course, I was not greedy, because I set a specific risk reward. I got it. I was not even panicked. So technically, my mindset was good. I followed my rule, confirm close. As you can see here, you didn't do anything. Your journaling is completely done. Like you, so as you can see the previous trades here, but yeah, this was the two consecutive losses. Sometimes I make like test trades also. I was testing the system. It's not like, sometimes it's like not real entries. Yeah, just showing us in live. So this is the session performance, and yeah, I got 144 net PNL. The gross was 155. The fees was 10. Now the ledgering is done. Now if you come back to the calculator, see here, now the error is gone, because I had two consecutive losses and I took one trade for the day. Now my daily PNL is $144. Now the risk percentage was back to my original risk. Now, since I had a profit, I can look for another setup. Then I can do that same process, a repeatable process every day. Now I know based on my, it was 100 and yeah, it was before 1486. Now that additional profit added into my journal, I can use that new journal. Now, if I took that same trade, now see if I use the 3%, if I assume that the last trade was this and this is a new one. Now, the same setup right now, I can risk as 48. Now, in case if the next trade is a loss, still out of 7, I lose 48, but I already gained 100 and 144. I already made 144. So if my next trade is wrong, I'm going to lose maximum 48. So that's how the risk management system of BiasLogic works. And yeah, technically this is a system that is helping you to uh, be consistent and disciplined. But yeah, it has got uh, like a lot of features like a bias and a screenshot of where the market wants to go. Now, as you can see here, this was the prediction for the day where the market wants to go. And as you can see here, this was a 30 minutes chart. Yeah, technically the market wants to go here. So this is exactly what's happening. But yeah, I could have just like take a trade and set a take profit here since the market wants to go there. But there are invalidation zones where the market might reverse, right? So we have to book the profit as soon as possible because there are more sessions and liquidity trap is going to happen. So we back the profit on the most closest areas, and that's where we we make money. So that's all about for the day. Um, if you all want to explore more about this, you can log into www.biaslogic.com. This dashboard costs like a monthly of $19. So, and you can explore the website, and it is explaining in detail about what all the features I've included in this dashboard and how the system is actually helping you to get more profitable trades. So we can close the trade now. I mean, we can close live session. I don't want to sit uh, in front of it because I already had my profit for the day. I'm gonna close my laptop and see you all on the next uh, YouTube live session. Bye bye.